Well, hey guys, my name is David Dornan, and I want to start off today by giving you a short background on who I am and where I come from, and then we'll jump into what we're going to talk about today. I graduated from college in '99 and moved to the Atlanta area, where I started a commercial real estate career. I was selling shopping centers, retail space all over the Atlanta area, and it was a great business to be in at that time because it was shortly after the Olympics, and this area was booming like crazy. So they were building lots of new homes, lots of new retail space, offices, etc. So it was a really good time to be in that field. I was an agent then. I worked, probably 30 or 40 hours a week. I had a lot of flexibility because, I was an independent contractor and they didn't really care how much time I spent at the office. As long as I got my sales done, they were happy. So it was great. I had a lot of freedom, flexibility, and I was making good money. After I was there for 3 years, my bosses said if I went and got my brokerage license, that they would promote me to an operations manager position. I could be vested in the company. So I was excited about that. I went, took the test, got my brokerage license, and true to their word, they promoted me. And an interesting thing happened because I got my first sort of lesson in the corporate promotion world. That with that promotion came a lot more responsibility, right? So I went from working 30 or 40 hours a week almost overnight to working 60 or 70 hours a week. I worked a lot of weekends. I traveled quite a bit more. So it was a lot less flexible than my schedule had been as an agent. So I was making good money and I was making more money, but it wasn't really more money. It was kind of the same money for more hours, right? Is how it worked out. So it was a good lesson for me to learn. And I literally had no time. I mean, I was working 7 to 7, essentially 6 days a week, at least. So I just didn't have that much time off, which is normal when you're building a career. But the biggest problem I saw was that it didn't seem like it was going to get better. I looked at my bosses and they were working 80 or 90 hours a week and they'd been there a lot longer than I had. So it seemed like it was going to get worse and not better in my case. So that sort of, got me thinking about potentially other options. My wife was a software trainer and she would fly to wherever the office was and for 5 days teach them how to use the software. And she would do 3 or 4 trainings a month, which meant she traveled 15 to 20 days a month, which was a lot. And I was working 60 or 70 hours a week, right? So we would high five in the hallway. I would get home at 8 or 9 o'clock often from work, and she'd be packing for a trip and leave at 6 a.m., be gone for 5 days. So it was a pretty crazy to make our schedules work. And again, we were making good money, especially for a couple in our 20s. We had no kids then, so we were doing well. We just had no time for each other, no time for friends, hobbies, any of that stuff, because we were both just working all the time. Now I say all that to say, in contrast to that, my parents, for the last, 45 years or so now, have been in the business of helping people, just like my wife and I, create additional cash flow outside of what they do for a living so that they don't have to work quite so many hours. Which sort of begs the question of why I didn't do that, right? If my parents have done something successfully for 45 years all over the world, you would think I would have gone to my parents and said, "Oh, wise mother and father, please teach me all you know about making money." But, look, if you are an 18-year-old or if you have an 18-year-old, you've obviously been an 18-year-old. Or at least in my case, I did not think my parents were very smart, right? They were old. They didn't get it. I was going to go the real estate way and do my thing, and they could do this thing, and that was theirs, and this was mine. And about 6 or 7 years into my career, I realized that my dad was a bit smarter than I'd given him credit for, as we often do. And I circled back around to him and I said, "Okay, look, I know you've helped, lots of people make money all over the world, but I didn't really understand how, right? I never got the ins and outs of how that worked, and that's what we're going to kind of talk about today." So what my dad did with me, the first question that we sort of ask people is what their financial plan is, right? Everybody has some sort of a plan. Even the lack of a financial plan is in fact a plan, albeit not a good one, but it is one. Some people go back to school or go to school and get more degrees or a degree or whatever that can help them in their career. I didn't really have that option in my real estate career. There wasn't anything else educationally I could do. Some people work multiple jobs. I meet a lot of people, especially in some of the bigger cities, that work 2 or 3 jobs to be able to make ends meet. Again, that wasn't an option for me or my wife when she was traveling 20 days a month and I was working 60 or 70 hours a week. Moonlighting doing something else wasn't really in the equation, right? And the most common financial plan is sort of the whole premise of what we're going to talk about today is based on the idea that there's 2 types of money people spend. The first kind of money is what we call your anyway money, and that's just like it sounds, all the money you spend now anyway. House payment, bills, clothes, food, all your outgoing expenses every month is your anyway money. Everything left over is what we call your asset money. That's what you're supposed to save or invest. right? Now, we don't touch your asset money, right? You give that to smarter people than me that will tell you what to do with that money. You can invest it in 401ks or IRAs or real estate or whatever it is you do with it. It's great. If it's working for you, keep doing it. What we do instead is take a portion of your anyway money and create assets out of it instead of just liabilities. And how we do that is through a business model that we call iCommerce. Now, all that basically means is we've changed the supply chain. The iCommerce business model changes the supply chain. You know, when a manufacturer makes a product and they're going to sell it to the end consumer, it often goes through several chains or several companies, and exchanges hands throughout the process. So it'll go through wholesalers, then to retailers, there's shipping, there's advertising expenses. Often 50 cents or more of every dollar is spent on those so-called middlemen. The brilliance of this business model is we've taken the manufacturers of all these products and linked them directly with the consumer, and then often 50 cents or more is used to fuel the iCommerce business model. So that's where the money comes from, in the form of savings and income. So it's a great value to anybody who's a part of our team. Now, there's the opportunity itself and then two support elements that go along with it. So with the opportunity itself, we're partnered with a multi-billion-dollar per year company. It's a big company in over 100 countries and territories, tens of thousands of employees, hundreds and hundreds of patents. It's an unbelievably, strong infrastructure that's there to support you in your business. And that's the beautiful thing, is they do all the back-end stuff that often trips people up when they're trying to start their own business, because there's a lot of capital involved, and you got to build websites, and you got to get all the stuff that we know is necessary to build a business. Here, that's already done for you, which is beautiful. And then the first support element is the team of business owners we work with. So those of us who work together with a vested interest in each other's success. Meaning, if I was talking to you today, the only way for me to make money is to help you make money, which means we're selective about who we talk to, right? We don't put ads in the paper or signs on telephone poles. We only work with people we believe could make money, because that's how we make money, right? Is only after you do. So we're not paid to consult you. We're paid based on the results we get for you. And that's the beautiful thing about how this whole thing is set up. You have people that have a vested financial interest in you making more money, because that makes them more money. The second support element is a company started by my folks about 25 years ago. In that company, we train and educate tens of thousands of business owners all over the world on a monthly basis. We've got offices in 36 countries. We operate in many, many languages all over the world. We have seminars, podcasts, trainings, all sorts of things that support you in your business. And we've created a very step-by-step approach to building this kind of business that has seen tons of success for many, many years all over the world. So you're part of people that know what they're doing and know how to have success in this industry, which is awesome. Now, you may be asking what the products are. Well, funnily enough, basically the products are everything. I know it sounds funny, but we have tons and tons of stores that you shop at all the time are partnered with us. And because of, our buying power, we're able to pass on those savings to you. So a lot of places that you already shop at your local mall or retail center, we've got all of those. You can order stuff online and you get, the products sent to you, or you can pick them up in the store, and you're going to get savings on the products that you're buying all the time already. That's a wonderful part of it. We even have discounts on things like cell phone plans without having to, get a new contract or buy a new phone or do any of that. You can, just for being a part of our team, you can actually get discounts on your cell phone and on hotels and rental cars and many, many other things. Then we have access to products that nobody else has, right? Products that are exclusive to what we do. And these range in many, many industries. You can get with the person that gave you this audio, so we don't go into it today. But suffice it to say, virtually in every category of product you would buy, we've got a product either manufactured by us or a partnership with a company that manufactures it, to the point where my wife and I do our shopping through the website. Besides groceries, we get everything else from here, which is great. So it's a really good savings. And basically how that works is you've got all these products from the partner stores. You've got all these products from our exclusive, manufacturing rights. And everything you buy has a point value. And basically, so shampoo, conditioner, hair gel, toothpaste, face wash, batteries, light bulbs, all the stuff you buy every month, you get points for. And at the end of the month, the points convert to cash. That's it. There's no catch, there's no minimums, there's no forms to fill out. It's just buy what you buy now. You're currently buying for no points and no money. You can now get it for points and money. Which is a pretty simple approach. Again, from a lot of the places you're already shopping at, you're going to suddenly get these points and you're going to get money back at the end of the month, which is a beautiful thing. So there's three ways to get points effectively. The first way is to the kind of no-brainer side, to buy from yourself. We find most of the people we talk to do it because they're like, okay, I have a cell phone, I brush my teeth, I do all these things. Why wouldn't I do it for points and money? Exactly. So a lot of people will get on board simply to get the savings. Then we have a couple other ways to make points. The second way is to specialize and develop clients. So we may have some of our exclusive products in all these different ranges that you find exciting or that you think would be easy to share with other people. And optionally, if you decide to do that and they go to your website, which is free, it's hosted by the company, you don't pay for it, but if they go to your website and place an order, the company takes the order, ships them the product, and sends you a check for the retail profit plus the points, which is great. So you're not inventorying product, you don't have a lot of risk, you're just able to connect people directly to the website, which is awesome. And the third way to get points is to refer other people who duplicate 1 and 2. The good news is you're not referring people to do anything they don't already do. Right? I mean, most of your friends already buy toilet paper and toothpaste and hair gel and those kind of things, right? We hope they're hygienic and they do those things. So if they buy those things now, you can easily convert them. And obviously, the more points you have, the more money you make. I would encourage you to get with the person that gave you this audio to get a little bit more detail on how the money shakes out. You owe it to yourself to sit down and at least take a look from the inside. We find most people that, really get a chance to see the whole opportunity overview, which takes, 30 minutes or so, maybe not even that long since you've already listened to this. You listen through that, and we find most of the people we talk to actually end up, coming on board because they just see the pure logic in it. Whether you just want to get, the benefits of being a member or whether you really want to make income from this business, we can help set up a plan, a strategic plan based on what you want to get from the business. So sit down with the person that gave you this. You won't regret it. This was the best decision my wife and I ever made. It's allowed us more time with each other, more time with our family, financial options we wouldn't have had otherwise, and more importantly, time options we wouldn't have had otherwise. So we've been very, very grateful, and I know you will be too if you'll sit down and take a look at what we do and really get a chance to understand more about our exclusive products, more about how the money works. All those things we'll go through. We have all the numbers, and it's very easy to go through with you, and I think you'll see, like we did, that it's the best option for being able to create extra time and extra money in our lives today. So get all your questions answered. That's what we encourage you to do.